NDTV Control All Defense, powered by IFFCO Tokyo.
Hello and welcome to a very special episode of Control All Defense. I'm Vishnu Som. Shiv Aroor is not here. He's working very hard, which is why I thought I would do all of the aero geeking myself. He often tries to control me, not so in this episode. What we have over here is a GE 404 engine. This is the latest GE 404 engine to have come in from the United States at a time when there have been so many question marks about the steady supply of this engine. For what? For this aircraft, the Tejas. This is the Tejas Mk1A aircraft, and this is the aircraft which is going to be joining the Indian Air Force in very large numbers. There have been orders which have been placed, 1,10,000 crores worth of orders for hundreds of Tejas Mk1A jets, which will form part of the bedrock of the Indian Air Force. What is this jet all about? We asked the HAL CMD some tough questions about capability, timelines, when the next generation Tejas Mk2 will come online for the Indian Air Force. All that coming up in this incredible episode of Control All Defense. The Tejas has what's called an all-glass cockpit. It's a cockpit designed by Indian pilots and engineers for an Indian requirement. I've had the opportunity of checking it out on a sortie on the Tejas Mk1 trainer. What's the Tejas Mk1A cockpit all about? Let's take a look. Never easy getting into a fighter cockpit, particularly for someone like me, 6'2". But this cockpit it's superb. And in having flown sorties on the F-16, the F-18, the Yas-39 Gripen, on the MiG-35, on the Su-30 Mki, on the Sea Harrier, and I probably could go on, I can tell you that this is as good and as functional a cockpit as any among those aircraft. It's a hands and throttle and stick configuration. The pilot has got all of the controls on the throttle, on my side over here, and on the stick. And between the throttle and the stick, they can essentially fly the aircraft effectively by looking out and up. Situational awareness is absolutely critical. So all of the key information that is needed comes over here in the head-up display. That has all the essential flight parameters. Come and show the head-up display over here, which has all the critical flight parameters. And in addition to that, the pilot has got multifunction displays over here as well. So there are 3 MFDs over here. The information between the 3 can in fact be replicated. So you can swap them over here. You can replicate the information. There are 2 smaller ones over here. This is pretty much contemporary. It's what the Indian Air Force wants. As you move into the Tejas Mk2 and ultimately the AMCA, India Stealth Platform, there would be single-piece multifunction displays which would be incorporated into the design. So there you have it, a look at the Tejas Mk1A cockpit. Very functional. It's not really small, even though the Tejas itself is not a very big aircraft by any means, but it's snug, it fits a certain purpose, and with the new bubble canopy as well, you can actually look around much better than in the past. So there you have it, a brief look at the cockpit of the Tejas Mk1A. Behind me, you've got a fighter aircraft. It's about yellow-green in color right now, but once this Tejas Mk1A takes off, she's going to be the latest Tejas to be trialed ahead of delivery to the Indian Air Force. But the story of the Tejas is not the only story of Hindustan Aeronautics. It is a massive manufacturer of aircraft, of helicopters, of systems, and a lot more. I'm joined now by Dr. D.K. Sunil. He is the Chairman and Managing Director. Thanks very much.
Thank you.
And he's the big boss over here. He makes these planes, but he'll say all his other people do, but actually he does. It's wonderful to speak to you, and we'll talk all about Hindustan Aeronautics. And I tend to agree with you when you say that people just talk about Tejas and HAL, there's so much more. But while we are at it, and we have this wonderful Tejas behind us, this is going to be the latest Tejas, and it's yet to fly.
This is the 9th aircraft of the LCA Mk1A.
Right.
9th aircraft. It's ready for flying now. And as you can see in this hangar, this is the first factory, which is the Tejas division. And you can see the 10th aircraft on the back side.
Yeah.
And the 11th is in the other plant.
Yeah.
The 12th is here going on.
Yeah.
And 13 is there, 14. So we have all these aircraft coming into the final stages of equipping and getting ready. We have the other aircraft in the second division, which is the aircraft
Sure.
division.
And we're going to go there. But let's talk about the Mk1A first, because it's wonderful news for you that the government has now invested in total across the previous orders and the new orders 110,000 crore rupees for the project for the Mk1A. I'm not looking at the Mk1, not looking at the Mk2, but that is huge for you because the responsibility is clear. Make these fighters, make them fast. What does this order mean for you and for HAL?
Yes, you see the effort of over, I would say, 3 decades of bringing this aircraft from the drawing board into production, producing those first LSP aircraft, the IOC, FOC, and this is the culmination of that, where we have moved to an aircraft which is very capable. It has aerial refueling capability, it has got a air-to-air missile, it's got a Astra BVR,
Yep.
It's got NGLGB,
Yeah.
it's got a very capable radar, AESA radar, it's got a...
And it'll soon have an Indian radar.
Yes, in the next the
It'll be called the
97
Uttam.
contract that we are doing, it will have the Uttam and the Eden EW.
Let's talk a little bit about what you're talking about. And essentially, this is a model of a Russian missile. But this is going to be, this R-73 will be replaced by the Astra. And you'll be firing the Astra and the Astra Mk2 of this particular pylon, or a pylon slung under this. And the capability will be much more than the present Mk1, right?
Yes, the Mk1 Alpha is in a class by itself. Today, you can fire the R-73, you can have the BVR Astra, and going down the line, you will have the Astra Mk2 as it when it comes up, because we have total control of the software, the mission computer as well as the weapon control software. We are able to integrate any weapon. So in the second version, we will also have another missile coming in from MBDA. So the capabilities of this are only going to increase. And
The
with
Meteor, right,
the
is what might come in.
The Meteor.
For the Mk2.
For the second batch.
Of Mk1.
Yes, Mk1
Oh,
Alphas.
that's interesting.
Yeah. So this is a aircraft which has a huge growth potential. Now you have a very capable AESA radar, you have a very capable EW suite. It's a question of adding weapons and capabilities as
Come,
we go
let's
along.
walk. No, that's fascinating. And but I think the key question is, in as much as it is evolving, the technology around us is also evolving. Yes. So we've seen the Chinese get into 5th generation, 6th generation aircraft, low observability. And of course, we have our AMCA program. We'll talk about that later. How relevant is the Mk1A and the Tejas Mk2 for the Indian Air Force, given the threats that exist?
You see, any Air Force would have a bunch of aircraft having different roles, right? The Mk1 Alpha fits a certain role, the Mk2 will fit a certain role as a replacement for the Jaguars, and this is a replacement for the MiG-21s, basically interceptor role. So I think it's a bouquet of aircraft that they would have. So the stealth would have its own position and requirement. So I don't think it's a question of this or that. I think both will be required, and in numbers.
I think it's fascinating to see your extremely highly trained engineers and technicians actually build the plane. And I think this is the first time we're actually seeing this on television. I think it's a good point to talk about the skill set. Because to get people of this standard is not easy. You can't just build a plane unless there are those who. How much of a challenge is that? Because everything they do has to be right.
Yes, we spend a lot of time and money training our people. We take them on, and there's the initial training, and then they come on.
Yeah.
If you look at the kind of wiring that is there, I'll show you on the next aircraft.
Yeah.
It's really mind-boggling. There are probably 20 kilometers of cabling that's going on inside. So it requires these different skill sets. There's an electrical person, There's somebody working on the landing gear.
We'll focus on the wiring inside.
Wiring, you please look at that. It's humongous. The kind of cabling that you're seeing,
Yeah.
you can see, this is the kind of cabling that's going on. And each of these, the landing gear, people are working on it. Parallelly, you have these different sets of people with different skill sets.
Yeah.
And you could see the rear, you will have the engine people, the hydraulics. So it's a team effort where everybody comes in and you have to put this together. And it's mind-boggling unless the...
And the training of each of these engineers, these technicians, these aircraft fitters, it must take a long period of time.
Yes, many of them have put in decades of service and they train the next generation that comes in. So this is not, as you said, off the shelf. You can't get these people. These are people who need to know. If you would look at some of the places he tries to access, it's very, very difficult. You can just have a look at that, how difficult and how tight it is.
Yeah.
And they will have to, so unless you know the aircraft and how a piping is done, how the looming is done, and what precautions to take, it will be very difficult to understand how the looming is done. You can see
But
that
this is an interesting segue for me to talk about the structure itself. This is carbon composite.
Yes.
It's entirely Indian, and it represents a huge spur in our own indigenous technology. That has added so much.
Yes.
And the offshoots of carbon composite technology or composite technology is massive, isn't it?
Yes, because it is almost 80% by surface area is composite.
Yeah.
That's what makes it that much lighter.
Yeah.
And it also leads into all the future aircraft.
Yeah.
This technology, whether it's Mk2 or the Mk, it's going to be all composite.
Now you are at what with the percentage of Atmanirbharta or indigenization on Mk1A? Above 60 or 60%
Yeah, and we about
approximately?
62%.
Right.
And in the 97 order, we have been mandated to do 70%.
I'm going to walk back over here to the radar, which is absolutely fascinating because while it has an Israeli radar now, the Elta 2052, what will be housed over here is the Uttam radar.
Yeah.
And that's Indian as well.
Yes, that's designed by DRDO.
How important is it for us to get that happening and fast?
It is perhaps the biggest breakthrough that has happened, that we have this radar, the technology. Because as we go forward, you want to integrate more technologies or you want to have a guided missile, you need to have both ends of the link, both the radar as well as the missile. So it becomes very important that this control is with us. Now, once
and
the
it's going to be an AESA radar, an actively electronically scanned array radar using gallium nitride technology.
Yes.
And the reason I point this out is because that is the state of the art.
Yes.
In many senses, the radar the Rafale has is not gallium nitride. It's gallium arsenide. As I know.
Yes, gallium arsenide.
Whereas what you have or are going to get is better in many respects.
Yes, the gallium nitride basically gives you better power density and the heat dissipation is much better. So it is a generation ahead of gallium arsenide.
Shall we walk up the stairs?
Yeah, please.
We'll walk up the stairs.
Yeah.
You want to go up first?
We could show you that aircraft.
We'll come to that next.
Yeah, design.
So this is a trainer. It's a Mk1 trainer, right?
Yes, it's a Mk1 twin-seater, as you can see. And it would just give you an idea. You can look at the cockpit, the way it is laid out, the number of pipes. Yeah. You have everything coming to this place.
Yeah.
You have this hook, the cabling. This is the twin-seater configuration.
And you'll have the Mk1A trainers as well.
Yes.
And
the difference will be, today the Mk1 trainer that we have has a mechanically scanned radar.
Right.
And now we will have to put the Uttam into that, and also the SRK, which is the Indian EW suite.
And that's another area of evolution, electronic warning systems.
Yeah, electronic warfare, essentially, it's a jammer. So you lock on, if somebody is locked on to you, your radar warning receiver gives you the warning.
Yeah.
And the jammer is slave to that.
Yeah.
And it will jam that particular missile.
So,
it's a self-protection scheme.
Right. Now, before we talk about the other Tejas and other platforms that you have, delivery schedules are key. That depends obviously on the engine.
Yes.
Assuming you get the General Electric G404 at the rate that you want, how soon would you be able to give these to the Air Force?
So
the
today,
Mk1A.
what I'm showing you here,
Yeah,
this is the 9th aircraft which is on the flight line.
yeah,
It's got an engine. We're going to test it.
Yeah.
As I said, we are using the engines that we have to rotate them. But
Yeah.
we have 3 Cat A engines.
Yeah.
So 3 of them are ready.
yeah.
And as of today, 10 aircraft are in final stage in the flying.
So
They are
if
on
you
the
had
flight
10
line.
engines in a
Yes.
short period of time,
Yes.
you can just hand them over.
Yes, they're ready. That's what I'm.
So it
all
boils
of
down
this.
to that engine.
Engine is the crucial thing, and the third
And so
engine has come.
Shall we go and see the engines?
Yes, please. Let's look
We're
at
going
that.
to go, and
Yes.
but before we do that, what a beautiful trainer this is.
Yes, we
and
can.
sir, as somebody who's at Total Av Geek, let me tell you, sir, I flew on the Tejas trainer with the 2010. This thing, it was tail mark or the registration number. The finish of this, the quality of manufacture, the quality of build has gone up.
Yes, definitely. Definitely, we have learnt over the last 40 aircraft.
Right.
And we have also been doing a lot of improvement in the manufacturing process itself.
Huh.
So what you see today, this is the last 2 of the FOC contract.
Huh.
So they are ready for delivery.
Right.
And shortly
So you're
we
going to
will
take me
tell
now to the...
You will go to the second
Right,
plant.
and we can take a look at that engine
Yeah.
and talk a little
Yeah.
bit about that
Let's go to the second plant.
after you, sir. And you've got more planes over there, right? Which
Yes.
have been fully sort of assembled and
Which
are
are
ready.
on the flight line. We call
Yeah.
them that they are on the flight line. They've been
Yeah.
tested.
Yeah.
The contractor sorties are done.
Yeah.
Typically 3 to 4 sorties.
Yeah.
And then we,
Chale wo dusra hangar.
keep the aircraft ready
Yeah.
for the Cat A engine to come.
Yeah.
Otherwise, in all respects, they would have been tested for the envelope, and the aircraft is ready to go. Will become.
But tell me one thing, sir. We have a big deal in the works also with General Electric for them to transfer a great deal of technology. That's for the G414,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
So ultimately, a lot of this engine technology would be here. I mean, I'm talking about the Tejas Mk2, obviously.
Yes.
But engine technology, we would see that. So the indigenization rate would go up. Is that right?
Definitely, definitely. We in Mk 414,
Yeah.
the government has mandated that it should be 80% TOT.
Yeah.
Because there are some parts which the IPR is not owned by G. So,
Right.
But it's 80% that we are now negotiating. We've had about
Yeah.
6 rounds with
Yeah.
the General Electric. And we also have a team now going in early October.
Yeah.
We are having video conference along with them. So I think that's moving forward.
Sure.
We are trying to basically flesh out that 80% so that tomorrow there is no confusion about what exactly we mean.
Yeah.
So we are asking General Electric to tell us what are the drawings and processes they can give us, and what
Yeah.
is, with a third party.
Sure.
We'll have to work to see that there are no gaps. So that point is now we are coming to a close, and then we'll go to the commercial negotiations.
But sir, tell me a little bit about the Tejas Mk2. Now, my grouse is that you haven't flown it as yet. You haven't prototyped
Yeah.
it as yet. Why was that so slow?
No,
The rollout of the aircraft.
The prototyping has already started. We have the center fuselage is already done. The wings already are made in our R&D center. This rollout will happen as you see. One of the issues is during prototyping there will be changes. You make a part, and there could be changes because of change in design. So the initial prototype is always a tricky one because there are continuous changes coming in. So notwithstanding that, we will be able to get the aircraft ready by the end of this financial year, get it to roll out, and the first flight we are now targeting end of the year, early next year, that we should start flying it, because it takes almost 6 months to go from, say, the aircraft readiness. These are production aircraft.
Yeah.
Where most of the systems are
Yeah.
done, you have a lot of what are called RFTs. You do the tests, and then you clear it for flight.
Right.
But when you're doing the aircraft for the first time, there are huge question marks. So every single test, you would have some surprises.
And how many years or sorties would you need before you arrive at an agreement that, okay, this is what we want and now we can manufacture it?
My feeling is after first flight, today we are much better off compared to earlier
Yeah.
days. Feeling is 3 to 4 years is the certification time, because we
Okay.
will build multiple prototypes and we will go through so 3 to 4 years. So if we fly in 27,
Yeah.
by 30 I think we'll be there a good stage for going to manufacture. And as you know, in all LCA or all our indigenous products, there is always a concurrent design manufacture. So if we come to a certain maturity, and then we start talking to the Air Force about a LSP, limited series production order, and then we start building that. So maybe 1 year earlier we start building.
And that would be a completely improved variant of the Mk1A. It would be it's a larger aircraft, right, with a different engine.
I wouldn't say it is a variant of Mk1A. It's a new aircraft. It's a much bigger aircraft. We will be in the class of the Jaguar or the Mirage, the 18-ton category.
Right.
And
you should call it the LCA then.
Yes, in fact, that's a question we've been discussing. That it's no more an LCA. It's an 18-ton aircraft. And
which is in the class of the Jaguar Mirage 2000.
Yes.
As opposed to how many tons is this, the Mk1A?
This is about 12 to 13 if you all up. Right. So the idea is it's a new aircraft. A lot of systems we have tried to use it from this. So that, we don't redesign everything. A lot of avionics, if we can pull it from here, goes into that.
So what is there in this hangar?
This is the...
I can see that Hawk also.
You can see this is the 404. This is the third engine, right?
So this is the one that this
third
is the
engine.
engine that just come.
Just come. The new engine
just
that's
like
come.
just a few days back.
And
so this is going to be installed in one of these aircraft.
Yes.
And it's going to be sent off to the user.
You can see this is the second aircraft, 3-4.
This is going to be on this aircraft.
It's
going to be on
this 4-1. On tail number
Tell
4-1.
us a little about the engine now, since the people have got such interest now in the G404 engine. It gets, but tell us about it's been very reliable for starters.
Yes. It's a very excellent engine. And about 74 kilonewtons. And you can see all these systems are mounted on that, like the fuel pumps, the FedEx. The FedEx comes on this side. That's the FedEx. The full authority digital engine control, right? This is the heart, the software which controls the fuel flow and the thrust. So as you see, there are multiple subsystems which are mounted. The fuel pumps, the lubrication system, the digital controller, and of course the engine itself. As you go from this end to that end, you will have the compressor, the combustor, the turbine, and finally...
And so you're getting how many a month now? I mean, they're making promises, and are they delivering?
We should get 2 a month from August, but we've got 1 in August. I do hope they can ramp up, but they've promised us.
And they fly these in, do they?
No, they have a test bench where they do that, and they test it to the full power, and then they certify it and send it to us here. And you can see it's mounted in this part, the rear part, where it is. The mounting itself takes about a day or 2. And you could see that the afterburner section is what sticks out.
No, I'm saying the engine, when it comes from the United States, they freight it to us or on an aircraft which comes in, or?
Yes, it comes on a air freight, and it's a separate box is there for the engine. Comes in that and comes through air freight.
I promised you, and I fully believe that we must talk about other aircraft. Otherwise, we keep talking about the Tejas forever. But it's just so wonderful to see these completely ready products. We're just waiting for the engine before they are before they're shipped out.
These are all the fighters, as I said. So now you have 1, 2, 3, 4 here. And the other place you have seen 4 of them. So,
but I see an HTT-40.
This is the HTT-40. The first aircraft we are building both at Nasik and here. This is the first aircraft which has come to the final assembly.
Have you got an order for the HTT-40?
Yes, we have an order for 70. We're going to build 10 of them here and 60 of them in Nasik. You could just have a look at the stages of this.
Of course.
This come to the final assembly. This is an aircraft which will be used by the rookie pilots.
Extensively,
Extensively.
And it will replace the Pilatus.
Yes.
PC-21,
You could see now we have come to a stage where we have even mounted the engine. The Honeywell engine. That's the Honeywell engine you can see. And it's got a very capable cockpit. If you could see here, capable glass cockpit, and it's now got very stable spin characteristics. And it's the ideal training vehicle for a rookie pilot. And as you know, in Aero India, we showcase the yashas
Yes.
which is, you know, the revitalized version of the IJT, where we had spin issues, we fixed those spin
Yeah.
issues, and we have also put in a brand new glass cockpit.
Are you confident about the Indian Air Force taking on the Yashas in
We
a period of
have
time?
already agreed that
So
12
there will be one beneath the Hawk, right? In terms
Yes,
of capability
exactly.
and the
yeah,
phase of
in terms
training.
of, and we 12 numbers, they've agreed to take it on lease.
Yeah.
So we have given the proposal. So later, as they use it and they feel comfortable, I'm sure it will go to the next level.
Sure. And I must ask you, as we start wrapping this up, you've had some problems with helicopters. The Dhruv fleet has been grounded. There have been some technical issues.
Yeah.
Have you been able to find a cause of what is causing, say, the Naval or the Coast Guard Dhruvs to have issues? There have been a few crashes, unfortunately.
Yeah, out of the 3 crashes that have happened, 2 in the Coast Guard and 1 in the Navy.
Yeah.
In fact, we had 3 in the Coast Guard and 1 in the Navy.
Yeah.
3 of them are because of other reasons. I will say
It's not manufacturing.
it's not manufacturing, it's not related to the design.
It's not related to HAL.
Yeah, it's not related to design because there were issues either in terms of maintenance or in terms of the operations and so on. Whereas the latest that we had in the Coast Guard, where we had a fracture of the NRSP, that's something which we have now have a defect investigation committee which has gone into it. And we saw a very clear distinction that the Army and Air Force helicopters did not have this kind of defect. So we cleared them. They are flying now. We brought in all the gearboxes and we had a thorough check. We did the NDTs to check whether there was any crack, and we found that there was nothing in the Army and Air Force, but we cleared them. In the naval variant, we have looked at, whether it's corrosion, whether it's stress and so on. We also did deck landing. The usage pattern was different from the Air Force and Army. So we went to the Vizag and we did deck landing under rough sea conditions, and that data has come now. The defect investigation committee is going to meet shortly.
Yeah.
So I think we'll get a picture now what's the root cause and what we need to do.
Right.
So that part
So in
is
a
done.
finite period of time, you'll get a fix.
Yes,
Because
definitely.
the helicopters they've been grounded
Yeah,
presently. so
there are about
how soon do you?
this month this DI we should be able to close, and then we will start if there is a modification or a one-time check, we will start that immediately.
But you don't know how soon the fleet can be back up in the air at this stage.
It would be a few months, my expectation, because this variant there are about 29 of them. So it would be
Across the
6
Navy and Coast Guard.
Yes, 16 each we had supplied,
I see.
and the Coast Guard has lost a couple. Coast Guard has lost 3, in fact, and Navy has lost 1, so 4. So we'd have 28 helicopters. So at the rate of about 4 to 5 gearboxes a month, we should be able to do it in max 6 months, 6 to 7 months.
Sure. Well, sir, it's been wonderful speaking to you, and let's hope that it all works out for the helicopter division, for the fighter division. We'll have to have another conversation in the future on AMCA, which is going to be that stealth platform, which is so
Yes.
very important. But these are fresh with their paint. They look absolutely incredible.
Yeah.
And now with the engines coming in,
Yeah.
we'll have this additional capability as well.
Yes.
Thank you, sir, very much.
Thank
for being
you,
with
thank
us.
you.
Thank you. Appreciate
So
it.
nice.
Well, there you have it, the CMD of Hindustan Aeronautics telling us about the company, about the technologies. We focused a great deal on the Tejas, but that has a great deal to do with the orders which have been placed. As I mentioned, approximately 110,000 crore rupees, more than 110,000 crore rupees have been invested in the Tejas Mk1A alone.